All right, folks, welcome on back here this Thursday afternoon, October 1st, beginning of the month, shortly after 2:30 p.m. Eastern time. Welcome on back here for our afternoon meeting. Let's get a quick sound check just to begin. Make sure everyone can hear me loud and clear. Perfect. Great to see the usual suspects right in tow. Chuck, Ron, Sharon, Debbie, great to see you all. Gene and Jerry as well. Kathleen too, loud and clear. Perfect. Alrighty, folks, cool. And welcome on back for anybody tuning in on social media, as always, Facebook Live and YouTube. One of our students, Kathleen, I think, had called out the pump trade, PUMP, new high of the day. I mean, great call at the time. I wanted to start with this because this is like a little mini lesson here, folks. Great call from Kathleen. It's not her fault. Pulled back, and hey, this might keep going into the afternoon. But where we ended up just seeing this get called out off the highs, I wrote the following in the chat board that there was a big 74,000 share print. It was filled exactly at 4.335. You see that there on the time and sales. So with that in mind, we would figure that's going to be a bit of a level. With this being right at the top, I would imagine that to be a resistance. Well, the immediate aftermath has been a big drop so far. So in order for this to move up higher, of course, it'd be easy enough for us to say it has to move over the high of the day, 435, but our major resistance, it's right off the ask at 433, 434-ish based on that smart money print. 74,000 shares. So, it's up 4+% right now. I wanted to start with this in mind just because it was the most recent call out. But, we'll come back to this maybe at the very tail end of the meeting. We'll see if there's anything else looking better. I know one of our students, Chuck, alongside the pump trade that was being called out, one of our students, Chuck, called out CBAT, CBAT, familiar names. So this one looks more interesting to me just based on the bigger volume getting filled. We're more familiar with this stock here too from the end of last week, pumping up, dumping back down, getting that secondary squeeze up. I'd mentioned during this afternoon meeting a few days back, for all of these stocks that have pumped up and dumped back down, we're not throwing them totally in the garbage just yet. I mean, look at this, speak of the devil. It wouldn't shock me if a stock like Sun W starts to get more volume coming in, 100,000 share spike. Check out Pola, POLA. Not really much going on there just yet, but that's fine. Hey, great call, Chuck. We'll definitely put CBAT on our list. I'll check out the Sun W, though, certainly at the end as well, or probably during the middle if it ends up breaking higher. All right, so Sun W pump, we'll kind of check back on those at the tail end, guys. We had a lot of stocks breaking all-time highs today. With the market even dumping off heading into 2 o'clock, a lot of stocks have held strong near the highs of the day, if not breaking even all-time highs. One that we'll jump to begin, we're going to get to this anyway on the gainers list, not breaking all-time highs, but high of the day, TCS, Container Store. You could see going back into the middle of September, it ended up making this big run rally from like 450-ish up towards 7 and above, and getting that big move back up again here. So, for right now, I have no problem just putting this on our watch list as well heading into the afternoon. We had called out the move up towards 750, moved up 30 cents higher from there. I would assume the next major resistance whole number off of 8. But yeah, I mean, for right now, don't mind putting the TCS trade on our watch list for right now. Alongside Container Store, what else do we have? We had Pinterest breaking new all-time highs and right back up there here too. So Pinterest up 7+% right now. Big volume spike came in off the 43.50 level. I mean, really from 43.50 and at 44, broke over both levels within the same minute. So, that huge volume spike is just both at that price. You can see it made the hold off 43.50 support, pushing up higher right now. So, yeah, I mean, very similar. Easy enough for us to do to just put this on our watch list heading into the afternoon. Not to say these are easy enough trades to just, take. They're easy enough to put on our watch list. But heading into the afternoon, keep a good eye on that 50-cent level, high of the day, 44.50. You could see a lot of volume just got filled right there. All right, so Pinterest. I'd be remiss to not mention DraftKings. Right, DraftKings still going. Now, Fausto's in on this more on the swing side. In fact, he mentioned this even a week back, saying, DraftKings has nasty shakes. It's not as great of a day tradable stock than it is a swing trade. So I know that he's back in on this swing trade. I think he's in from around like 52 or 53. I just got off the phone with him a moment ago. We were talking about it. Nonetheless, still holding strong near the highs and, well, the all-time highs for that matter. So I don't mind putting DraftKings, near the back end of our list. It's a little expensive. Again, if it ends up breaking high of the day here, there's no historical resistance to work with, so perhaps it would make it a little bit easier of a follow in that case. But yeah, DraftKings will come back to as well. And then last one. I was pumped up for this one, although it hasn't really made as big of a jump up just yet. Snapchat. Snapchat finally breaking its all-time high. It took a little while to do so, and that's not the peak here. We're talking right off its IPO back in 2017. Can't believe it's been that long. 26 or 29.94, the all-time high. Oh, actually, no. Damn, I was going to say, my apologies on that, folks. Okay, never mind then. I thought this was a lot closer to all-time highs. That's a complete mishap on my end there. So 29.44 all-time high. My apologies once again. All-time high, 29.44 on Snap. Has a ways to go. That said, I guess what I was referring to there, which I usually am good with the all-time highs. Made like a Fausto mistake there. Right here, this last peak, it broke over, new 52-week high, of course, with that in mind. And yeah, we'll see if this ends up getting at least the break over 27, not 29.44, but at least for right now, we'll put Snapchat on our main list. All right, so I'm not perfect. All right, let's see what else we have here, guys. We'll go from top to bottom. SLDB, I wanted to start with really because, well, that was our main focus, at least in the morning. I'm going to copy and paste the news just to keep everybody informed with why the stock ended up making its big jump in pre-market. But all in all, SLDB, much like the CTIC trade from yesterday, it was up big and it's shortable. So solid bioscience shares trading higher after the company announced FDA has lifted the clinical hold placed on the company's Ignite DMD phase 1/2 clinical trial. All right, cool. Good enough. But SLDB, for as much as this moved up early in the morning, guys, in pre-market, we talk about this all the time here in our weekly Traders Talk workshops, in class, everywhere. For a stock that's up this much, leading into the market open, it's going to pull back. If it ends up popping right out of the gate, trust me, it's going to pull back. So, this ended up snapping down underneath 550. It ended up actually making a higher high, but very short-lived. Came screeching back down. And, from there, once it rebroke the 550, complete free fall down. So, yeah, heading into the afternoon, I wouldn't even mind putting this on our main list as well. Just on more on the short side, SLDB here. See this continue to drop off. My only gripe on this trade, and this is where I'll say, if we build up a pretty good list into the afternoon, if we keep going down the percent gainers and losers, we find a lot better stocks than this. I'll scratch this off the list only because this stock is trading a hell of a lot of volume. I mean, like, I would imagine that if this continues to drop off, it's not going to be as fast. So prior to today, this stock was trading about 185,000 shares on average. It's trading a lot more than that right now, right? I mean, we're talking 100 times more than that roughly. So, near 185 million shares today. My gripe would just be that it's going to move a little too slow, but definitely one to keep on your side list, I'd say, for tomorrow, for next week, all throughout. AMAG, I don't know. Yeah, it's a buyout. I don't even know why I clicked on this. I knew this was a buyout from earlier. AEL, little funky chart, dropped off early today. I guess you could say the same thing where it's shortable. It was up big, pretty low volume. I wasn't there to catch this one. GSUM, we caught this more in pre-market. We were watching this leading into the open. So, looks like it held support from roughly around where it's at right now, 165, squeaked up to 190, then a huge shake back down. So the rest is history. All right, Express EXPR. I always used to love using this stock as an example in my phase 1 stock class, guys, here. We're just saying, just because there's a stock that you like or a company whose product you like, Express Clothing, I like their clothes, doesn't mean I'm going to, invest in the stock, doesn't mean I'm going to trade the stock for that matter, doesn't mean it's tradable. I just bring that up because, I don't really look at the stock. I like the clothing. I haven't looked at this stock in months. So when I saw this on the percent gainers list this morning, I couldn't believe my eyes, really. I guess it's been a long time, with it being below $1, but I haven't looked at this in quite a bit. Squeezing up nicely for what it's worth here. It's a cheapie, and it has a long ways to go to even get back up towards like the consolidation area around 152-ish there, back from March, April, June. Leda here in our chat board says, nice designer socks. I wonder how you know that, Leda. It's a little inside joke. All right, so Express. I don't mind putting this on our list for right now. It's a cheapie. We normally don't trade these stocks priced below $1, but beautiful trend. Alita one day beat me for my pair of socks in a game of pool here at our Trader Summit conference that we tend to do every year. We didn't have that this year, of course, with COVID, but yeah, Alita, I'll get those socks back, I swear. Best Buy or Bed Bath Beyond here though, BBBY. I mean, off of earnings up 32+% today, crazy. So I was expecting this to drop off once the market opened. It did, but it ended up holding really nicely off 18. I was expecting a bigger drop down towards 1750. From there, held, and I mean, what a monster! This thing ended up pushing up beautifully across the morning here. So right now heading into the afternoon, I'd say the same thing. Just like I'd said on the SLDB trade, it's trading so much volume. It is shortable, so I ended up dropping this, or I ended up catching this drop from 20 down towards like 1950 earlier in the afternoon. This big drop here. But otherwise, I mean, I'd say it's going to trade in the tight range. Maybe if it makes the breakout over 20, we'll see this move up higher. But for right now, we'll see if there's anything looking a bit better than this. All right, CBAT already on our list, up to 250, right? So that one looking pretty good. Good call from Chuck. Container Store already on our list, still looking pretty active given this afternoon. Don't mind keeping it on our list for right now. EDES, I guess this was one from the morning here, right? It was on our morning or pre-market list, I think. Up big, dropped off early in the morning, ended up holding around that 540 price, and then from there had a nice little mini run. From there, steady drop back down. I wasn't there to catch it. It is shortable. I'd say the same with this, right? Like keep it on your side list for the remainder of this week. Next week, perhaps we'll see this make another little move back up. I keep bringing that up, guys. Maybe I'll jump ahead really quick, but CTIC. I'd said that just yesterday on CTIC. For as much as this pumped up in pre-market and shortly after the open, it dumped back down. It was a great short yesterday, as it was shortable. Today it's not. But hey, look what it's doing today. No need to short it, right? The stock ended up running up as soon as the market opened from 2 up towards 250. So that's where I say keep a good eye on that SLDB tomorrow. Keep a good eye on the ADES trade. That one I had just brought up, tomorrow, next week. I'm sure that we'll see like a secondary move on those stocks. All right, CHFS, pretty cheap. Not really, a little pop, but that's it. RMBL, just going to skim through. Obviously, I'll jump to NIKL. Ooh, look at this. Naked, NAKD. It's like 13-cent stock. Another one that took a beating from the last time I had my eyes on this. You could see any of the big volume spike days or days that we've likely had this on our watch list in pre-market or, from the morning here, this big squeeze up. You could see at least back from, what is this, like August? Yeah, August 28th or August 20th. Pumped up early in pre-market up to 45 cents, 46 cents, then dumped all the way back down across the day. So got to be careful in that regard, but it's a real cheapie. So I don't mind putting this on our list just given the trend. Trade quite a few thousand shares on this. Just know your worth on a stock like this, if anything. But yeah. Me personally, I'll be more focused likely on the NIKL stock here. Ended up making a pump and dump, right? I mean, pumped up from 2250-ish breakout shortly after the market opened up, all the way up to damn near 27, actually exactly 27, and then dumped all the way back down to 23. So this thing has like been through the spin cycle today a few times. Hey, very volatile stock, very active still, as you could see at this point in the day. It's not really slowing down a whole lot, at least just yet. So again, I'll add NIKL right back to our list. All right, we got a big list so far, guys. We haven't even jumped over to the losers end just yet. Got a bunch of stocks still near the highs, like I was alluding to before. NIKL, Michaels looking pretty good, and RKT the same thing. All right, this might be a classic, a traditional Josh Levitan afternoon watch list where I end up putting 30 stocks on our list here. So we'll put NIKL. That's where I said I'll scratch a couple of these off. Like right away, I don't mind scratching SLDB off. Maybe I can make a little bit of a move, but trading too much volume, I think. So NIKL and then RKT, Rocket. That was the other one I was going to put on our list, just right off the highs here. All right, let's see what else we have on the losers end for right now, guys. Oh, the Rocket is shortable for those of you guys that have TradeStation, just so you know. In case of this tanks today and should it tank tomorrow, hopefully it remains shortable. SELB, hey, this one didn't really get as much love in the pre-market from us, but shortly after the open, we Fausto called this one out pretty early on. Ended up dropping off big in in the after hours yesterday. And this is what we would call or hope for a dead cat bounce. Ended up seeing the shorts cover. People take profits on the run up. From there, well, the volume died off around 180 from there and dropped back down. So, you know, for what it's worth, a nice move, but I wouldn't expect this to make another run into the close. All right, LOGC, ooh, same thing. I mean, down big. Eventually, this will make a squeeze. You would hope, at least, to see. Still has a lot more room to drop. You would imagine, right? So, you know, just one to keep in mind, given how much it's down today. It is still shortable, so you know, keep that in mind. But at least for this afternoon, we'll pass over it. Ooh, look at OMI. Yesterday's big mover into the afternoon, right? What made the percent gainers list totally tank today. So, you know, hey, that's where I say with stocks like Rocket, stocks like, you know, Container Store, Michaels, blah, blah, blah. I mean, you know, look at OMI today, it got crushed. So, you know, if this is a good, if this is a shortable stock for you, then should it break down below a big volume support level, I would imagine perhaps the beginnings of a big drop off. So, looks like that's what we ended up getting today on this OMI trade. You know, into the afternoon, for as much as it moved up, we saw the pullback down today. It might be exhausted, but for right now, I'll put this on our list here too. Looking pretty interesting. Bounced off of 22, essentially. Crashed under and over. No other familiar names. Maybe this ADMA. It's pretty cheap, though. Yeah, pretty slow. All right, guys. Hey, if there's anything else that you want me to check out, call out here pretty quickly. Just type it in the chat board. I'm going to take a look first on Benzingo Pro, my scanner, my signals page here at least. Not really a whole lot that I see that looks good. There's one stock perhaps I'll check out. Fran, F-R-A-N, getting a little love. Some volume coming in on this stock. 282 up to 290. And trading pretty light volume given this time of the day for what we look for. If it ends up making, you know, another move or more volume comes in on the trade, I'll call it out. For right now, it's not doing it for me. That is a spam call. Very nice. All right, guys, let me know if there's anything else. I got from Kent here in the chat board. Crocs, C-R-O-X. Oh, I should have checked it out earlier, Kent, right? Great call. I'm going to take a look on Benzingo Pro right now, newsfeed. Let's see what's going on with this stock. They have a new shoe coming out. Justin Bieber says he plans to work with the company. That's the news headline, guys. Believe it or not, the Biebs. That's funny, Greg. Right? Leda says the shoe Fausto loves to hate. Right? Oh man, he'll get a kick out of this news headline, right? That's pretty interesting. Hey, pumping up, dumping back down. It is shortable. It is a level 5 stock, though. All right, guys, for all of us inside our live trading room right now, this is a level 5 stock, not only based on price, not only based on the news and the run up, but look at the spread, look at the liquidity on the book. So a very difficult trade for any of our newly enrolled students. Don't look to trade this stock, guys, as a new student. I'd rather you focus on, like, you know, even a Snapchat, a TCS trade, a CBAT even perhaps into the afternoon. Tighter spread, more liquidity. Late, I did just check out Fran. I'd mentioned if there's more volume coming in on that trade, I'll be more interested on it. I guess there is more volume coming in on it. It's teased us in the past so much. So for right now, I'm going to keep it off the main special list. If it ends up making a push up to 3, then I'll keep a good eye on it from that point. All right, so good call, Kent, on the Crocs trade. DGLY, a little new high of the day here, pumped up in pre-market at least. Nah. All right, so I'll tell you, I'm going to jump back to this list, guys, because I feel like it's a little too big. You know, I scratched off the SLDB trade. And AKD, for as much as that stock it dropped off over time, it's moving up. I feel like it can keep going. I don't mind keeping this on our list. Sun W getting a little push. Again, that one's kind of off our list for right now. DraftKings dumping back down. So I was saying DraftKings more on the swing side. So I don't want to distract any one of us just with this stock, putting it on the list when you have, stocks that are moving near the highs, breaking out still, perhaps like a Pinterest, a Snapchat, etc. So that's how we can kind of trim the list down a bit at least. So all in all for right now, folks, we got 2, we got 4, we got 6, we got 8, 9. Not too big. All right, so we got 9 stocks at least heading into this Thursday afternoon. If there's anything else, we'll look to rescan the market a bit more seriously around 3:15, 3:30 Eastern. All right, folks, aside from that, I believe Fausto will be back on the mic himself heading into this Thursday afternoon for all of us inside our trading room. For those of us on social media that are not inside our trading room, feel more than free to join us. All right, so aside from that, make sure also to like, subscribe, notify right on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/cybertradingu. All right, guys. And with that, we will look to post and tweet the picks, and we'll keep it going. All right. I'll talk to you all soon. Take care.